dose of
We
Yeonmi
often say,
misinfo?
socialism.
Okay, let's just start with real comedy. Okay, let's leave the comedy to the real goats, like Yeonmi Park. Let's start here.
Worse until you run out someone else's money. It was that case for North Koreans. Socialism kind of worked until the late 80s because our economy was heavily subsidized by Soviet Union and China, and then Soviet Union collapsed, right? So they stopped helping North Korea, and the regime could not find any more a subsidy.
Wait, but she's actually not wrong about that. Like, yes, the collapse of the USSR absolutely is like one of the major reasons why North Korea had to withstand one of the worst famines of all time in the 90s that of course the sanctions didn't help with. Another incredible American crime against humanity. That's right.
Subsidy for the people. And until that moment, we are a socialist paradise. We have free healthcare, free education, free housing, free public ration. And then 90s,
of course, make no mistake, the major reason as to why like North Korea and its economy had to be subsidized, there was no collapse, there was an illegal dissolution. Yes. Fine. Yes, I agree. I usually use those terms as well. An illegal dissolution. But like the idea that like I mean that these guys simply were just free riders or freeloaders is also crazy. Is like, once again, there's no, like, what were they supposed to do? They got no homies out there. If you got no homies out there helping you out and doing trade with you, what are you supposed to do? She hasn't really like said anything all that crazy so far, but I'm assuming she's going to turn around and pop off. Now, make no mistake, the reason why there is this need for help from the USSR is because of embargoes and restrictions on trade and the blockade and all of that good stuff that the world's largest superpower was pushing for.
Free housing, free public ration. And then 90s, Kim Jong-il hear about like starvation. And then people saying like, what are you gonna do? People are dying. And then he thought, actually, it's easy to do socialism when you have less people. It's easy to control people. And so why don't you let them...
What? I'm sorry. Oh, so he just let people die in the famine. Okay, here's a counter argument. If it's really hard to do socialism with a much larger population, why didn't America ensure that the DPRK population didn't die by the thousands during the famine in the 90s so that it would inevitably collapse? It's always like, it's funny because it's always like, there's always people being like, socialism collapses in and of itself, which is why we have to do everything we can to make sure it collapses. Which world's largest superpower? Brother, there ain't no way that you are trying to say, there ain't no way you're trying to say that like the USSR was a comparable superpower, especially in the 90s to the United States, right? Or in the 80s.
Die. So he decided to keep only 10% population.
He decided to keep only 10% of the population who are in the capital, like the Hunger Games. Wow. That's good. That's good stuff. 725,000 views by a channel called Socrates in the City. I love thinking that I love fancying myself to be a Greek, an ancient Greek philosopher, while simultaneously looking at like one of the silliest fabulists, okay, who doesn't even try all that hard to lie. And yet it's like people should eat that up because it perfectly corresponds to their biases, and then they jump to it, and then they just go along with it. and think that they're brilliant. The comments on this video are insane, like really insane. Dude, the comments on that video are not necessarily all that insane. It's we who are insane. It's society that is already not sane, so you look like a radical.
I'm glad I'm dead. And
I want
please
to hear
remember
what
this is
I want to hear what he sounds like real quick.
Which we all know is not going to happen. People are always thanking God for the good stuff in their lives, but somehow they conveniently forget that it's the same God who does all the bad shit too. And he does a lot of bad shit.
Oh God, I can't even. I'm turning it off. It's just so. I can't do that. Cat boys and black men in dresses. Just use stock images at that point. Last thing I want to read is comments from people who enjoy AI shit further than Homer Simpson singing Starlight by Muse. Yeah. I don't. It kind of scares me. I will say this much. I think it's very scary thinking about people who watch AI stuff and enjoy it. I don't know why, but as far as like art goes, I feel as though the humanity. I enjoy your intros. I mean, yeah, for like a brief meme, it's one thing. But if you just like kick back, you know, throw your slippers to the side, kick your little feet up on the table, and then like watch a 1 hour comedy special made by a machine of a beloved comedian that passed away, it's like that's an entirely separate thing. You're now watching something that is just completely robotic. There's no humanity in it. I do agree that like AI can be used, and I've said this before. I believe that AI can be used for fun little memes, or even with talented human beings, it can be used to I guess uplift the art that they are engaging with. Okay? But if you are trying to make a fully fleshed out product, we're now broaching scary territory, not even necessarily because like, oh, I'm scared that it's going to, it's going to destroy artists, which it already has to a certain degree, but more so that what makes art good is the humanity. It's the fact that a human being with imperfections, that mastered their craft, that took all of their life experiences and put it on whatever canvas it is. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a painting, right? But it's just what makes, it is one of the last bastions of humanity. Like there is a mechanical process when it comes to, I don't know, commodity production, right? But when it comes down to art, it is supposed to be the exact opposite of that. Like it's supposed to be imperfect. It's supposed to be a mastery of your craft, but also beyond that, it's supposed to bring to the table the collective